What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. I'm John Hammerly.
I'm Grayson Jenkins.
You were two roommates in college. Love football, love talking about it. We decided why not? Let's make a podcast. Let's have some fun with it. Diehard Packer fan, as you can see, diehard Saints fan, and
Hell yeah, Reggie
yeah,
Bush.
Bush, bum. Um, pretty interesting times for both of our franchises. So this is pretty exciting episode one. And yeah, we're gonna have fun with it, and we're gonna kick it off talking about Derek Carr. So
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to get into it right away. We want you guys to enjoy it as well. We're going to get into the hot topics of the league right now. Off season coming up. It's going to be an exciting one. Let's get right into it. Yeah, so Derek Carr coming to the Saints, huge for the Saints fan base. You know, we had Andy Dalton all year.
Red
Not
Rocket.
Yeah, not red rifle, not
Yeah,
enjoyable to sit through. You know, he would
no,
have amazing plays left and right. Might have a few bad, like he had a lot of bad plays, a few good plays, I should say. Where he'd have
yeah,
a few good throws, like the one he made to Olave against the Rams, threw it maybe 55 yards with pressure coming to his face on the money, and then the next game he couldn't do squat. So you know, I mean, having a solid quarterback come in to the Saints that's been relatively good his whole career. Above average for sure. 4 Pro Bowls,
Pro Bowl.
leads the league in comeback victories in his career since he's gotten in the league. So I think having that come to us as a team that has a great defense, stacked offense with
Good weapons.
loaded weapons, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and now Michael Thomas is even thinking about coming back. So, you know, I think having Derek Carr as someone that can come in and lead the young players and work with Pete Carmichael to form a successful offense in comparison with a great defense on the other side of the ball, it's going to lead to a lot of wins and a lot better viewing for the Saints fans to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he can do.
What do you think? What's like a good season with Derek Carr? Like, what is that? Is that like what's a good season for Derek Carr? Like, what kind of numbers are you expecting him to put up? Like, what are you expecting?
You know, I think especially if Michael Thomas comes back, you know, at least, I think at least, I think you can do at least 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 yards,
Uh huh.
low 4,000 yards, I'd say. But I think if he can put up plus 25 touchdowns, sub 10 interceptions, I think that's a good year. And I think that's what we can expect with a
Yeah.
good defense. He's not going to have to force the ball. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I
No.
think,
Yeah. No excuses. I mean, he's in a crappy division.
yeah,
He's got good weapons. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, he
yeah,
should be
exactly.
especially in the weak NFC, he should be a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah, I think
You know what I mean?
NFC South, especially, is their number one quarterback easily. With the
Yeah,
Panthers,
by a lot.
possibly number one pick, they might get a stud in the draft. We don't know yet, but
Still a
I
rookie.
think, yeah, stud rookie. He could pan out. He could not. Who knows? So I think Derek Carr, as of right now, is the expectation is to win the NFC South. That's straight up is what it is. And I think NFC conference wise, I think I'd say top 6 quarterback. So I think we'll see how he does. I think with
Top six.
yeah, top 6. I don't know. I think he has the weapons and
Don't
everything
forget
he
about
needs now.
Jordan Love.
Hey man, Jordan Love. I
Jordan
think
Love. I'll get
let's
into
see how
that
he
later.
does.
Jordan Love
Let's
though.
see how he does. You know, I
Uh,
think here's the thing. Derek Carr never had a top 20 defense, so he's always playing come
yeah.
from behind ball. You know, I think he's always forcing stuff in his
Hmm.
career. So I think having his top 20, top 5 defense, even in the Saints, the last few years, very
Hmm.
beneficial for him, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah. So you said it. They got weapons. Crappy division. Um. Great. I mean, a good defense. Been a good defense in the league for years now. Like, how far do you think this team could go? Like, what are we talking? Like, yeah,
You know,
division title, but what round? You know, what's the
I
expectations?
think I think if we can win our division, we'd be top 4. So we'd have at least one home field game. I
Hmm.
think if we go into the wild card home field game, I think we win. I think the home
Yeah.
field, if we have a good defense this year, as we have, and if the offense is now producing and going to produce with the home field advantage at the dome, no
Hmm.
team's coming out of that. At least the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Second round, we might play maybe like the Eagles, maybe the Lions, something like that. Like a
San Fran.
yeah, San Fran. I think it'd be tough.
Dallas,
I
not
think
Dallas.
I think there's a shot we could make the championship game, but I'm not going to guarantee that we make it past that. I think if Derek Carr's playing hot, playing well, he's only played through one
Because
full playoff game and didn't
yeah,
win. So
Derek Carr. Yeah, I was gonna say Derek Carr doesn't have that much playoff experience. Me,
yeah,
I would say like second round, like divisional round. I feel like that's like accomplishment. Like that's a good season.
yeah,
Make it that
I
far, you
think
know what I mean?
yeah, I think that's what everyone should expect as a Saints fan right now. And honestly, if especially if they don't make the playoffs, I think Dennis Allen's gone. I think Pete Carmichael's gone. I think this is their shot. You know, I think they have everything to prove this year, and now they
Yeah,
have no reason not to make it. So,
yeah, yeah. All right,
with
Derek
that,
Carr, baby.
yeah, with that, you want to move to Aaron Rodgers?
Oh gosh, do I?
I don't know. I
Do I
mean,
though?
Aaron Rodgers thinking about leaving your Packers. I think it's gonna be tough
All
as
right,
a
yeah,
Packers fan growing up.
sucks, sucks.
I don't know.
All right, well, you know me. You lived with me for a year together. I'm the biggest Rodgers fan in the world. I love him. I grew up watching him. I love him. I'll defend that he's the best quarterback to ever touch a football with my life. I will be buried in an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I will. Um, this is tough. This sucks. Um, the situation sucks. Being put in this situation the past 3 years sucks for the franchise. I mean, as a franchise, as an organization, how are you supposed to build your team and move forward if like your superstar QB every offseason is taking 3 months to decide if he wants to play, if he wants to go to a different team? It's it's terrible. Like even right now, it's March 11th, right? I mean, you could start talking to free agents on Monday, and we don't even
Yeah,
know
we
what
got
Aaron's
five
gonna. We
days.
don't even
Yeah.
know what Aaron's gonna do. They still have to work out a deal. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. Um, but there are rumor. I mean, there's been a bunch of rumors. Not a bunch of rumors, but you know, um, the Jets organization went, to California, little wine and dine, everything. But what really did it, what really like said, he's not coming back to the Packers. He's a Jet or he's going to retire. What really did it was yesterday. Mark Murphy, the Packers president and CEO, was at a girls' state basketball tournament, and reporters came up to him and they asked him, "Is there a scenario where Aaron is the starting quarterback for the Packers next season?" Mark Murphy, I quote, said this: "Yeah, I mean, unless if things don't work out the way we want them, yeah, we would." Like, if things don't work out the way we want, yeah, I guess we got to deal with Aaron.
Yeah,
Like
you got to deal with them.
they're ready to move on. They're ready to move on, and like I said, it's tough and it sucks, but like it's the right thing to do. Like, and both sides, Aaron and Jordan Love wise, like Aaron's 39. You're putting up with this every offseason. You get sick of it. It's like, dude, it's time to move on, right?
Yeah,
Jordan Love's side too. Like, look at his contract. This is going to be year 4, right? And what's coming up is the tag, right? The 5th year tag, right? So they got to make that decision, and that tag's like 20 mil. So like, let's say Rodgers came back and played, and they use that tag, like you're paying a guy 20 mil, like your cap room, paying this guy 20 mil, and you haven't even seen him play.
yeah,
So
I
you need to
yeah,
play him this year to see if he's worth that, right? You need to play him this year, and you got to give him. I think it's only fair. You drafted a kid in the first round. I think it's only fair that you give him 2 years to go play instead of just one, right? Let's say Rodgers came back, then retires. He plays 1 year, then he's a free agent.
yeah.
It's not
I
right,
think
right?
I think Jordan Love for sure deserves to play this year, and I think with Aaron Rodgers, all the theatrics that he's had this year, I mean, Jordan Love has to be kind of wondering like, are the Packers really going to deal with this, or just I think
Yeah.
he's ready to step up for the team, and I think he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Who did he play against last year? He played right last year, right? When Aaron Rodgers went down.
Jordan Love, baby, the Eagles, and he looked good, and he looked good. And I know everyone says, the Eagles were not preparing for him. Fourth quarter defense, they're up by 2 touchdowns. That's an NFL defense. That's Philly. That's a
Yeah,
tough environment to play
one
in.
of the top defenses
That's
too.
Sunday night football. That's Philly. That's the NFC champs. That's a real deal. That's a good football team, and he looked good. He looked good. He made all the throws, even the throws he missed. Even the throws he missed, he put it where he had to. He did his job. There was his one throw. It was his second drive. It was like 2nd and 10, and Aaron Jones was lined up outside, and they were in cover two, and he tried to put it in that hole, and his back shoulder perfect throw. Aaron Jones dropped it, but like that ball placement, it was great. I mean, he's improved a lot, and that game went a long way, and the fan base took notice, and the organization did too. But even like throughout the year, I mean, guys been saying in practice like his jump this year was crazy. Like 1 and 2, he was like, and then this year, like, whoa, this kid can actually play football. So
Yeah, and if you think about it, that's all sitting the like not even like he's not even playing and he's developing that much. You know, if he actually plays a year,
yeah,
even before his 5th year option, like you said, if they let him play a year, he's going to develop that much more, and
hmm
you'll truly see what he's worth for the team.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So regarding Aaron, I guess there's the second route. If he doesn't go to the Jets, where on your list right now do you think Aaron Rodgers has finished all time rankings quarterbacks? Where's he at?
I mean, he's number one in my books, but honestly, I mean, the championship discussion is big. Look, championships are important. That's why you play the game. I get that, but it's a team sport. It takes a whole organization. Takes luck. Takes calls. You got to get lucky. It's a bunch of things. You know it as a Saints fan against going against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. That call
All right.
goes your. But
Yeah.
I know, but like that call goes your way. You're in the Super Bowl playing against the Patriots. The Patriots weren't that good that year. I remember that year. They weren't that good. The Packers played them at home. The Packers sucked that year. That was Mike McCarthy's last year with us, and I think they beat us by like 10 points in New England.
Mhm.
But like that's a win. That's a game you should have won, right? I mean, Aaron. I mean, how many NFC Championship games has he been in, right? In a couple of years, they were really the best team in that Final Four, and it just and a play or two didn't go their way, and yeah, it sucks. So he's got one championship, 4 MVPs. I mean, the passer rating, the touchdowns, interceptions, it's crazy. Um, the talent. I mean, he was doing stuff before Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what anyone says. You know, he was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. He was Aaron effing Rodgers, right? I mean, he was the man. So he's definitely top five.
Yeah.
He's number one for me. I mean, Brady. I would be fine if someone put Brady, Montana, and Peyton Manning. I would put Aaron at four.
Yeah. I
I would
think.
put Aaron at four. Like honestly, like I know. And me and you used to go at it with Aaron and Drew Brees. I get
Oh,
it,
trust me,
but
we went at it in the
we went
dorm.
at it.
In the dorm,
We
we
went
were
at it.
arguing for hours. Yeah.
I know, I know. We woke up some people, those nights. But but like I know. But Aaron and Drew Brees really do have a lot of the careers are very similar. Only one ring. You know what I mean? Well, one won 4 MVPs. Your guy Donut, but
Yeah. Robbed a
but
couple
like
times.
I get you could Brees is definitely top 10. But I mean, yeah. So I say top five, top five.
You think if he leaves and he goes to the Jets, you know how he didn't finish well with the Packers in the playoffs and anything like that. I think a bunch of teams think, oh, or a bunch of fans think, oh, if he comes to the Jets, we're instantly going to be like playoff contender, instant possible deep run in the playoffs.
Hmm.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think if he goes there, it's not going to be. He's going to have to face Josh Allen, Miami, Chiefs. The Broncos might be good this year, even the
Hmm.
Chargers, who are kind of a letdown in the playoffs. But Justin Herbert has the talent. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
where do you think he takes the Jets if he ends up going there?
Um, that's a good team. That's a good team. Um, that's a good team. Honestly, when I look at the Jets, I mean, the biggest hole's the offensive line. It's a good team over there. They have the offense, defense, rookie of the year. They got weapons, and if Aaron Rodgers goes there, he's bringing baggage. He's bringing Cobb. He's probably gonna bring Tanyan. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the Jets go pay Alan Lazard. Um, they're gonna have a good team. They're in a tough division. They'll beat New England twice. And honestly, I think they probably split with Buffalo and the Dolphins. And I think Yeah, I mean the AFC's tough. Everyone knows that, but they can. I think they can. I don't. They're not going to win it, but they can finish 2 or 3 in that division. They can make a wild card, and I think the same thing as the Saints. Like Aaron Rodgers, bro, we all know he could play in the wild card round. He could play in the divisional sometimes, NFC Championship, AFC Championship games. It's not going to be his deal. But sadly, um, whatever. That's another story.
Yeah. All right. We'll
Um,
move on. We'll move on. We'll move
Emotional.
on.
But I think he gets them to the playoffs first, second round exit. I think that's realistic, you know.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
could see him getting a
so
wild card for sure. But I
yeah,
don't know how far they go past that.
yeah, I know.
So let's move on to the next big quarterback news that's been happening recently is in Lamar Jackson. You think I've heard a lot of talk? Oh, it's collusion between the teams. I've heard um, collusion. I've heard blasphemy. I've heard it's ridiculous. I've heard so many adjectives just to describe just how dumb teams are being for declaring themselves, oh, we're out. We're out on Lamar Jackson, former unanimous MVP, that is, who is a dual threat quarterback to no other level. Mike Vick, way like 10 times better than Mike Vick, and Mike Vick was great
Yeah, but it's not even
himself.
a. It's not even like no one wants to pay him this money. Like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like no one's gonna pay him this money. Like fully guaranteed contract. Shout out to the Browns. Browns, thanks for screwing up the league, giving Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract. That's what screwed up the league. That's what he wants. What do you think Burrow's gonna want? In a couple of years, what do you think Hurts is gonna want? Stuff like this. So it sucks. But it's not even like they know he's a good player, but who wants to commit to this contract?
Yeah, I think that's really the key is that, and also these teams that would have to negotiate since it's an unrestricted tag. They wouldn't even necessarily get him. They'd negotiate the contract,
And then
they'd
yeah,
get to a deal, and then the Ravens could say, oh yeah, we'll
Ravens
take
can
that on.
match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
I
think
know.
no one wants to go through that process versus trying to find
Yeah,
someone else to be their guy
yeah, I
that'll
know. But no one, yeah, but no
fix the
one wants to pay.
organization.
Yeah, but no one wants to pay him to. And you know
Yeah,
what? Baltimore said, screw it. Go have fun. Go see what you can get. You can't get anything. You're going to come back to us because no one's giving you that money. Cleveland's the only organization because they're dumb. The Cleveland Browns, right? I mean, that's just them. They, it's
yeah.
just, they're a joke. They're a joke.
I
They did
think
it. Look what
I think it
happened.
really did possibly screw. And I think the owners are just saying screw you. Like we're
Yeah,
not doing it. It's
yeah,
makes sense, and I don't think it's gonna.
yeah.
I think it's gonna
I,
stay that way. If it withholds and no team actually does go for Lamar, I think it's gonna truly just make it so the fully guaranteed offers, like you said, aren't gonna be a thing in the future, and I think that's good for the league.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Who can commit to that? Like honestly, who can commit to that? We got some Twitter notifications. Nothing on Aaron. What else is new? But yeah. But he's gonna he'll be back with the Ravens. He'll be back with the Ravens. He's not gonna sit out either. He'll be back with the Ravens.
Yeah, I think he'll play. I think he's gonna have to. Like, why
He's
not
gonna have to.
play wherever you're gonna be? And if you want to prove yourself, that's the best way. I think he said like he was gonna prove himself this year. He got hurt, and I think that's
What's
another big
the
reason why a bunch of teams don't want to pay him is if he gets hurt, he's not going to be
yeah
used. And
fully
I think
guaranteed? The
yeah, fully
guaranteed
guaranteed.
shit.
If he gets
You
hurt,
can't play with it.
yeah,
You can't play
because
with it.
you get hurt or he gets hurt, you're done.
Yeah,
Your
you're
salary
done.
cap's gone. You got
Yeah.
a guy that you're paying that's injured, and the Saints
Mhm.
went through it with Michael Thomas the last couple of years. Your star got hurt, and there was no account like you couldn't do anything for it. But now they're trying to renegotiate, and I think we'll make a deal that accounts for the injuries. But yeah, the guaranteed is going to mess everything up.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to move on to Panthers, the Panthers Bears
And
craziness
the
and
dumb
trade?
Bears. Yeah. Okay.
Dumb Bear, dumb Bears.
Nah,
Yeah,
they're
no.
gonna make a move, but what's a good? We all know what it's gonna result in. It's gonna result in a fourth place in the division. But all right, we can get into it.
Here's my thing. I think the Bears. This trade helps them exponentially compared to what the first pick was. They weren't. They
Yeah,
didn't have anything in the first pick that they needed. They didn't need a quarterback. I mean, maybe they could get an edge or Jalen Carter or something like that. But Jalen Carter might fall now because of the whole arrest thing. That's who knows what's going on with that. But I think the Bears now they trade. they put themselves in a prime spot with the ninth pick now to get a good receiver weapon. I
Hmm.
saw like targets such as Jackson Smith and Najigba. Ooh, I'm gonna cut that. No, I'm kidding. But I think even him or Quentin Johnson, huge target who can catch,
Yeah, but
run.
you think they would go receiver? I mean, they got
Here's the
Moore, they
thing.
got Claypool, and they got Mooney.
Yeah, but I think if you can
Nah,
get a
they
tall
gotta
guy,
go. They
I don't know. If you can
Claypool's
get
big.
Quentin Johnson,
They gotta go. Well, I mean, first off, whoever they get, they're gonna screw up the pick and blow the kid's career.
yeah, they definitely could.
Sadly,
Kevin
because
White,
they
part two.
suck. Yeah, they suck. That's just organization. Just it's bottom. It's like Cleveland. Um, I mean, they're gonna go edge. They're gonna go edge, or they're gonna go tackle, because that's what they
Yeah,
need. Or
I
they
actually,
need D line help. They need. I mean, they need everything. The Chicago Bears, but yeah.
yeah,
I
Kalijah
mean,
Cansey out of Pittsburgh could be a big pick for them. That was
yeah.
one of the number one drafts
They'll go edge D
prospects.
line. They'll go tackle. But I mean, whoever it is, he's not gonna be that good. Just so everyone knows, the trade was the first overall pick for number 9, a second round pick, a 2025 second round pick,
It's
first
crazy.
for next year, and
It's a
DJ Moore.
haul.
And DJ Moore just signed a contract with the Panthers the season before, so I mean, he's kind of already locked up for them. And he's 25 years old. He's a good player. His career will go down the drain, sadly. But yeah, yeah, it's a good move for the Bears, like for right
I
now.
had
But we know how it's gonna turn out. So
I had them going after. We'll talk about it in the next segment, but I had free agency. I think they're gonna go after Orlando Brown. I think the Chiefs, they're not tagging him. They're gonna let him go. Like I think that's been released, but Orlando Brown hitting the market as a left tackle, who's 27. He's young.
I hope he goes there. We'll get into it later. I hope he goes there.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you why later.
I don't know. I think he'll end up
No, it
there,
makes sense. Yeah,
but
definitely.
because Justin Fields sacked 55 times, it's ridiculous. Your future
Crazy.
of the franchise, you don't want him getting hit that much, especially
Hmm.
as a mobile quarterback. Someone if he gets hurt, you can't afford it. That eliminates his dual threat, which makes him a lot more. Makes him a lot better. If he's not able to use his legs, he's going to be a pocket passer, and that's not his talent. So
Hmm.
I think Orlando Brown, they'll go after him in free agency. Like you said, they'll go after a D line. I think maybe they go after a receiver because if there's like a huge prospect available at 9, they might take him, and they might trade up later, whatever. Because now they have multiple picks.
Hmm.
So who knows really what the Bears do? They're always unpredictable in that front.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So Panthers wise now, I mean, I get it. It's a lot. Like you're giving up a lot, but at the same time, I mean, if you really feel like you can go get your guy, and the QB is the most important position on the field, I mean, you know what I mean? You go get your guy. You give up anything. You know what I mean? It's like what the Jets are gonna do to go get Aaron. If that's their guy, they're gonna give up a lot to go get him.
yeah,
You know, and Panthers gave up a lot. But now I'm hearing too that they might even trade back a little if they like
which
multiple
makes no
guys.
sense.
So,
They
I
think
don't
it's
know.
draft day.
Who
They think
knows?
it's
I think
draft
it's.
day.
I don't know. I don't know. This ain't a movie, right? Um. Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna go up and get their guy. We'll see how that works out, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's either C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson. I
you think
think
so? No
I
Bryce
think
Young.
I think the Bryce Young hype. I think he's going to go top 5. I think he will. I think he
I
might
think it
end
goes
up
to Houston.
Houston. Yeah, I think he's going to go Houston. I think C.J. Stroud is probably the most primed to have a good NFL
You think his
like start.
NFL? You think his NFL ready?
I don't know if he's going to be
We'll get
NFL
into that
ready
later.
year one. Yeah, I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think
Yeah.
any young quarterback prospect is ready year one. I think all of them are going to need a year. Like Trevor
Hmm.
Lawrence, look at him. He sucked year one, and then this year he blew up, and I think he led the Jaguars to a successful season. So I think technically, I personally think they might go after Anthony Richardson after the combine, after his performance, which I think would be dumb. I'd love it as a Saints fan, but I think they might think that he's Cam Newton part 2, and if
Hmm.
they fall for it, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna be interesting to see what they do. We're gonna move on to our final topic of the day, which is free agency. Um, Negotiations start Monday, right? Monday, and then it becomes final on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
tampering. Yeah.
So it's Monday, and then yeah, so Wednesday. So we got the cap, we got all the cap um room for each team up right here, and yeah, we're gonna hop into it. So we found this list on NFL.com by Greg Rosenthal. I
Rosenthal, yeah.
butchered that name. Yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, we looked at the, we know this podcast is already going a little too long, so we only took the first 15 guys on the list, and yeah, let's hop into it. So number one, he had Javon Hargrave, D tackle from Philly, 30 years old. Um, when looking at this, there's a couple of options, where this guy could go. I don't think he goes back to Philly. Um,
Yeah, I think
Philly's got a
Philly's going
bunch of
down.
Philly's. I don't know. Philly's got a bunch of free agents. I think they're going to bring one back. I'll get into that later. I don't think it's going to be him. Um, he's going to get paid. I mean, good pass rusher at that tackle position, had 11 sacks this year. I like the Bears. Bears need D-line help. They got the money. They got the most money to spend. The Cardinals, another option. They just lost J.J. Watt, and Zach Allen is a free agent too. The Seahawks too. That's an interesting team. That's a fun team. Um, fun, interesting team. They could use the help too. They got the money. I wouldn't doubt the Patriots either in it. But if I had to go one, I'm going with the Bears. I think he's going to sign with the Bears. He's 30 years old. It's not going to be a massive contract years wise, just because he's already getting up there in age. But I think it goes with the Bears. They need it, and they got the money. So, yeah.
Yeah, the second guy on the list, who I already talked about earlier, and I think I've mentioned who I think he's going to go to, was Orlando Brown. 27 years old. You want him to go there because it's the
And let me
Bears.
let me say
You think
why. Let me say why. I think Orlando Brown is this kid. They got this little. They got this. They have
straight
this.
up, I like it.
Hold on. They have this video. I know he's like a Pro Bowler, and that's cool in the AFC. Look, the AFC is cool, but the AFC is a little softer than the NFC. NFC is gritty. Um, but if he came here, I would welcome it. I would love it. Rashawn Gary would make him his for years to come. I think he's a, and I say that because they have this show, Pat to the Draft, that follows rookies before getting drafted and all that. And even if you watch his combine, I'm a big, I like lifting. Jenks knows. I was doing push-ups every night before bed. You know me. But this guy benched like 14 reps, 14 reps at 225, like
It's
tackling.
not. Yeah, it's not good
That's
for tackle.
crazy. That's crazy. 14.
It's
He's
about
just
half.
soft.
It's about
And,
half
and
of what it should
if you
be.
just, yeah, he seems soft to me. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Rashawn Gary would have some fun with him. But yeah,
I think a team will end up overpaying for him. I think,
yeah.
like, I don't know if you remember, but the Chiefs O line, like, it's solid, but I don't ever feel like Patrick Mahomes is ever completely secure in that pocket. And as one of the top linemen from it, Orlando Brown, not going to be a huge, like, I don't think he's going to be an insane prospect wherever he goes. I think he's going to be a turning around. I don't think he's going to turn it around for the Bears, but I think the Bears do see him. I think the Bears want him. And they have, as you can see on the screen, 76, 75 million in cap space. They're going to overpay for someone. And I think it's going to be Orlando Brown because I think he's going to protect Justin Fields. And I think it's going to end up backfiring on him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so at number 3 on the list, we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson,
CJ.
safety, yeah, from Philly, 25 years old. This dude's awesome, man. He's awesome, versatile. You know him. He's a saint.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
One of the favorite
versatile.
players last couple of years.
He's versatile. He's young. He's 25. He was a big time player for them. I think despite the reports that Philly's not going to bring like Hargrave and Gardner Johnson and Bradbury back, I think Philly's going to find a way to bring this guy back because I think he was very important to the defense. I think they're going to find a way to pay him and bring him back. If not, I think he could be heading to Detroit because that seems like that's a fun culture, fun
Good
thing to
fit.
be a part of, and they need the
Scrappy.
yeah, they need secondary too. But I think the Eagles are gonna make some cap room, make some money moves, and I think he's gonna be back in Philly. So
Yeah, he had 7 picks, I think,
yeah,
and he was
so
out maybe half the year.
hmm
Who I think whoever lands him is going to get a great player.
yeah,
The
totally.
I think Philly should 100% get him back.
I think he's asking for like 14 or like 13 and a half mil. I think
Yeah,
Philly's at like 7. I think 7. So I mean 8. I mean I feel like they're gonna find a way. I don't know. I feel like this is one of the players out of all of them. I feel like you can't let this guy go, especially with the age too, right?
yeah, you need him.
I mean,
He's
yeah.
young and I don't know if you saw it, but the Super Bowl he blasted a couple guys multiple
hmm
times. Like
hmm Yeah,
he
he's good.
lays the lumber and can he can pick the ball from any angle, any coverage. He's a great corner or great safety. Great, he can play in the slot. He can do anything. So I really think
hmm
he's versatile. And
Yeah.
like you said, I think the Eagles are going to go back for him. Now going back from him to another secondary pick or player from the Eagles, James Bradbury. Um, he was number one in I want to say um, he was number one in three. I want to say completion percentage, um, touchdowns allowed, and something else as a corner. And as a corner, myself, you know that's impossible. It's like playing corner is the hardest position in football outside of a quarterback, I'd say. So for him to do that this year, be a free agent, I think he deserves some money, and I think he's going to go somewhere where he gets what he deserves. And the team that I picked for him, that I've seen a bunch of people also saying that he's going to go to, is the Raiders. They were
Raiders.
27th in completion percentage, and then they were 19th in touchdowns passing wise. I think if they can get someone that'll limit both those, like I said, he was number one in both. I think that'll be a great fit for them. I think they have the cap space. Yeah, the third, 47 mil. They have all the
Yeah,
money to pay for
yeah,
him.
they got
So
money.
he is a little bit up there in age, 30 years old. So he might get like a 3-4 year contract, I think, something like that. And see what he does there.
All right. Next one we got another secondary player. We got Jesse Bates from Cincinnati. He's 26 years old. It's pretty crazy that Cincinnati let this guy go. Um, I saw a couple of rumors that he would be interested in staying in Ohio, going to Cleveland, playing with Deshaun Watson. That would be interesting. Um, that would be interesting. But yeah, I got the Browns, Falcons, and Lions as destinations for him. I don't think the Browns they got to clear some cap space, but I'm thinking I can't see him in Detroit. I just can't. So I think he ends up either in Cleveland or Atlanta is an interesting team too. As you can see, they got the money, and Atlanta needs a bunch of things, as you know. So I think I like Cleveland. I like Atlanta
Yeah.
to overpay for him. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna if it's Atlanta, they're gonna overpay.
Yeah. I think,
26, and he's a stud. I love Jesse Bates. I think he's a
yeah,
top five safety in the game.
100%. I think
But,
I think Detroit, like you said, I don't think they're going to go for him. I think their number one safety prospect would be a CJ. So I think, like you
yeah.
said, at Atlanta, they need a good safety. I think as a Saints fan, I think we could pick apart Jesse Bates, but with Pete Carmichael's offense, who knows? We might not be able to. So I'm excited to see where he goes. Love him. He's a great player. Um, like you said. We'll go to the next one. I'm going to skip Mike McGlinchey because I kind of already went over a offensive lineman. So I want to go to a D lineman, Zach Allen, who's a really interesting prospect as a free agent this year. Out of Arizona, I think every single year he's extremely young. He's 26. Every single year he's improved in sacks, tackle for loss, and QB hits. Every single year he's gone up. So I think he's his numbers weren't insane. I believe it was a 5.5 sacks, something like that. But as an improvement every single year and at this young, a team wants someone that can impact immediately. And I think he's able
hmm
to. It's almost like Trey Hendrickson from when he went to the Saints, the Bengals. He had his one good year where he started shining and then he has been explosive ever since. So I think it's either going to be I have Arizona trying to retain him. I think they're going to try to keep him. But if he's not able to go there, I've seen a bunch of people linking him to the Broncos as someone that can help them improve their D line, interior D line, he can play a little bit of both, outside, inside.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm interested to see what he does.
Awesome. Yeah, that ties right into my guy, Dramon Jones, D lineman from Denver. Looks like he's going to be parting ways there. 26 years old, very versatile on the defensive line. Only had 6.5 sacks this past year, but had a ton of pressure. Uh, Good player, young, um, gets better every year. I saw a lot of reports saying like linking him to the Packers. I don't know. I think honestly, he might. I think he's gonna get paid 15 mil, 15 plus. That's what I've been seeing a year. I don't think Green Bay can afford that. It'd be cool. He's versatile. It'd be cool along Kenny Clark, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Um, the Bears, another one, but I think the Bears are gonna go Javon Hargrave. So I think Draymond Jones is gonna end up in Seattle. They got the money. Um, it's just a good fit. They need D line help, and yeah, he's versatile. He's young. Yeah, Seattle.
100%. We're going to jump right into players that we think will come to our teams in free agency, players that we'll go after, that we want our teams to go after, that we think can make big impacts on the team.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with the Packers. Whew. I mean, before we do anything, we gotta, you know, Roger's gotta make up his mind, so we know what kind of money we're dealing with. But I think the Packers are going into this free agency looking at their team. Adrian Amos is gone. Alan Lazard's probably gone.
Yeah,
He
I think
wants
he's
like
gone.
12 million a year. I don't think Green Bay's gonna pay him. And I think they've been looking for that vet receiver. They got Christian Watson, who's a stud, Romeo Dubs. I think they're looking for that vet receiver. I think they're looking for that vet safety too for that secondary, especially with Amos going leaving, who was a captain. Um, so at safety, I like Von Bell. I like Jamie Ward. I like John Johnson. If I had to pick one, I like Von Bell. He had a really good year with Cincinnati. He
Former
wouldn't be that
Saint.
expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's 28 years old. I love it. I think that's a perfect fit. Makes sense. That's what I would go at safety. Receiver wise, I don't. I mean, I've seen some stuff like Green Bay's going to go for Lazard. Just seems too expensive for me.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
they're getting him back.
and plus, I think he's going to follow Rodgers. You Receivers, DJ Chark, Jarvis Landry, Paris Campbell, some guys that I like for Green Bay. If I had to pick a realistic one, I think Paris Campbell is realistic for the Packers. Um, so yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the Packers signing Von Bell and Paris Campbell. I think two veterans, but not like vets. They're not old. I think they still got good years ahead of him, especially Paris Campbell. He's pretty young. Um, but yeah, those are two guys that I think can help Green Bay become a better team.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the Saints, same way. I don't think either of our teams have that much money that we're going to be able to pay star guys. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Dennis Allen. Let me find the quote. He said in the press conference today that he doesn't see them going out for first day on the first day of free agency and having a big splash. He wants to focus on guys in house, which I think is smart. I think we have the weapons now. We don't need anyone insane. We have a good solid base. If we can retain the free agency that we need and then get a few like key guys, few key components that aren't expensive players or star players, anything like that, that just fill small holes, I think it'll be beneficial for the team. And I think one thing that Derek Carr helps with a lot is bringing in players that he has X chemistry with. Like one player that I've seen mentioned a lot is Mac Collins. He's a 6'4" receiver, good hands. Last year he broke out a little bit, but he had 700 yards, 4 touchdowns last year as technically a third receiver. He had Devontae Adams over there. He had what's his name, Hunter Renfro. At third receiver who still had 700 yards. That's great. And the Saints wouldn't have to overpay for him. And I think if you could get him across from Michael Thomas on the ends, and then Chris Olave, Rashid Sheet in the slot, and then not Jarvis Landry, Jawan Johnson at tight end, who we just extended for 2 years. I think it's going to be great for the
You got
Saints and
something.
Derek Carr. Yeah,
You got something. Yeah,
and I think
yeah, definitely.
defensive side of the ball, we have no defensive tackles. Like we really have none. I think we just signed one, not a big name, but we need defensive tackles. I think we're going to draft one. maybe I want Kalijah Kancey, but he's not gonna fall to us. Let's be real. So I think Sheldon Rankins, who was a former Saint, who's now on the Jets, free agent. He's not going to be an overpay kind of guy. You're not going to have to pay him a lot. You're going to be able to convince him. He's already a part of the team. He knows who the Saints are. He knows how the team plays. He knows the defense. He knows the chemistry. He knows all the players. I think he'd be a key to bring back, and I think he'd instantly help the run game and the pass rush. And I think that's who the Saints should go after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Breaking news from Ian Rappaport. Shaq Thompson is expected to remain in Carolina after he reworked his 2-year deal. So keeps one of the leaders on the team. So to any of you Panther fans watching, I'm sure that's good news. Grayson's like, I can't wait for Alvin Kamara to run this kid over.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Alvin,
yeah.
after
All right, so that's good.
After he's out of his suspension for beating the crap out of a dude, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
But
well, that's Saints organization for you.
Okay. Another ex-Packer in the news right now. Not another, but ex-Packer. Jamal Williams, Bills, Bengals, and Jets join list of teams very interested. You think he goes to any of those? I think the Bills could be
Jets.
No,
I like the Bills. I'm just saying with Aaron.
you could
Bills.
go.
I think
Aaron.
I think it would be an interesting pick. I was got one tiny prediction I want to squeeze in.
All right.
I saw Odell Beckham on FaceTime with Sauce. Sauce has been doing a lot of recruiting lately. Aaron and Odell are buddies.
He switches to New York.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the Jets. I'm just gonna say that. All right, but we're gonna wrap it up. Make sure to follow us on the Jenks and Hammer. No, follow us on the Jenks Hammer Pod on Twitter and Instagram. That's the handle. And yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna come back.
Enjoy the
weekly podcast.
Yeah.
I think next week. What do you want to do? You want to do free agents drafts? Yeah, free agency recap. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, enjoy this week. This is a fun time for us NFL fans. It's like Christmas for agency. Enjoy it. Hopefully your team gets the players you want. Hopefully your team gets better, and we're gonna be here, next week breaking all the moves down. And yeah, we're gonna see you guys soon.
Hell yeah, let's do it.